Right, in this video I'm going to be showing you how I'm using IT, and in this case it's a painting drawing program, to create some of my videos. And now I'm going to be showing you how to use layering. So here's the layer on this program, layer manager, the brushes, and some of the other bits and pieces, the other tools here. The color is very important if I want to be painting, changing colors. So I need on these, the top, what you call the ribbon here up the top there, you've got things that are showing. For example, all the ones I've just talked about are ticked. So let's bring in the toolbar. Here's our toolbar, and so I've got different options. I can draw squiggly lines, straight lines, boxes, straight lines at points, circles or ovals. They're saying near circles. Different types of brushes, and this is your color editor again. Crop is important. If you've got a picture, you just want to just take this area here and then do that, and that will kind of change like that. Alright, so if you want to go back on anything you've done, press the control button and Z at the same time, so that will go back. Right, and your file here, so you can save as anything you want. Right, so what I'm going to also do on this video, apart from me running through how I use this particular program, and they all kind of run pretty much the same kind of way, these art programs. You have layers where you can draw on top of each other, and the layer underneath is kind of vanquished, and the layer above, the new layer, takes over. And you can kind of make one layer more transparent than the other, and I guess this is what this is, opacity. See that word opacity comes out, means how transparent it is. Right then, so I'm going to use this video as an excuse also to do a little bit of mathematics. Now, very important in mathematics, where you learn how to balance equations. Okay, how to deal with equations. So I'm going to put a title in here. So text layer editor. I'm just going to type in how to balance, so we don't get a spelling problem. Oop, yes, I did straight away. Balance equations. Right, so this is like part one, really. So there's many things to learn on this. Too long for one video. So, okay, I hit that. Now, I'm using a mouse for this entirely. I can also use a pen and a pad, but I'm using a mouse. So I've just kind of, it says here move, so I'm just going to move that top. And I could scale it on this particular program, rotate it. Now, not every program's the same, but this one, we can kind of work out how to use it by things that are conveniently popping up like so. So if I'm happy with it, I'm just going to click that. Right, so that was on layer 1. Now, if I was to... Right, so let's create a second layer. So left clicking on here to the top, add layer. Yes, I do. Adding a layer. Now we're working on layer 2. Right, layer 2. I can do what I want. On layer 2, I can draw something, and I can rub it out like so, and I won't be able to rub out layer 1, but I can draw over layer 1, but I won't be able to rub out the layer 1, but I can rub out the red bits. Right, so as going back to what I was going to do, but how to balance equations. Now if you have an equation, so the sign for equation is equal. Okay, kind of difficult to do this with a mouse. I always say the equal, well, how I normally think of it is the equal sign is, if you go to the park and you've got, I'm going to try and draw a very simple line here. If you go to the park and you see one of those things in like swings and slides, one of the things you do see in a park, I'm just going to change colour as well, is a seesaw. Now I've drawn a very simple seesaw. with the middle bit as like a triangle where it balances on it. Now the way I see equations that is the seesaw is very similar to an equation. So if you have, and I need to switch now to this wiggly line one. If you have, and I think I'm going to put on another layer. Let's add on another layer. Right. If you have someone sitting on the seesaw here, seesaw is going to tip this way, isn't it? It's going to go down to the left and it's going to hit the floor on the left. But if you have the same sort of person, the same sort of what you call body mass, I'm not going to say weight because I am a teacher. I want to be as accurate as possible. I do teach physics. So similar sort of body mass, or same body mass I should say, on the other side. The seesaw will stop kind of tipping on that side and it will be quite happy to sit in the middle like this. That's how I see an equation. Remember, this is part one on this equation, how to do equation thing, and a bit of IT stuck in there. So there's many parts to come, and that's how I see it. An equation is an equation where it's what you call analogous to a seesaw sitting on the center there, nice and balanced, with things balanced on both sides. Now with a seesaw, if you decide to add another person on, that person could be bigger. So you're sitting two persons on a seesaw. Now this is not balanced, just like an equation. If you add things to this side of the equation, say you was to add something here, that's not going to be right. Okay, the equation is going to fail. As with the seesaw, it's going to be tipped to the left. But what you got to do is, if you can add something to the left, also add it to the right. Well, I made him a lot bigger. Imagine he wasn't as big as he is. He should be slightly smaller. Right. So the same kind of mass on this side, and I've added the same sort of thing on this side. Right. So, again, the seesaw is flat again. If I was to take off this chap here at the end, I must also take off this chap here on this side to make the seesaw flat again. So, very simply put, on an equation, whatever you do to one side, whether it's adding, let's choose a different color, whether it's adding, so you notice I'm using this color selector here, whether it's adding or subtracting or minusing, whatever you do to one side, as long as you do it to the other, the equation has not been kind of wrecked. It's still in one place. You haven't fouled the rules of mathematics. That includes also if you was to multiply on this side, you multiply on this side as well. If you decide to divide, which is our last basic function on the calculator, divide on this side, as long as you divide on this side as well, the same amount, the same thing really, perfectly happy. The equation still stands. Nothing has changed. Now, there's a reason why I'm showing you this. It's because later on we'll need this kind of idea to progress. So this is what we call square root. That's also on the calculator. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Alright, so that's very, very important in mathematics. If we've got an equal sign in the equation, what you do to one side, you do the same thing to the other. And part one of this, how to deal with or how to balance equations, is simply that. Learn this rule. What you do to one side, you do to the other. If I'm halving this side, or in other words, if I'm dividing by 2, I divide by 2 this side. If I'm multiplying by 4, I multiply by 4. If I'm dividing by 1.888, I divide by 1.888 this side. If I move on to something what you call a little bit more abstract, which is kind of like a weird kind of concept, and we move away from numbers. If I even decided this divide by a symbol, like for example, you all know the symbol for mass, which is kilogram, I hope, kg. If I decide to divide by a symbol or multiply by a symbol, Whoop, shouldn't have done that. Let's press the Control Z. kg, I do the same thing to this side. So if I literally, I'm not, if I divide, did I say multiply? If I multiply by kg this side, multiply by kg this side. So even things like units, it still applies to. So other units include meters, usually referred to as M. It could be centimeters. It could be, I'm just going to put a divide sign in front of that centimeter. Divide by wherever centimeter units, or even any symbols. The same thing applies. So I could multiply by, I don't know, A, maybe the letter A. I really should have used my pen and pad for this. It's kind of scruffy. Multiply by A. If I just divide by whatever B, I divide by B on this side. So far, after doing all of this to my poor old initial equation, which was nothing and nothing, nothing on this side, nothing on this side, everything's the same. My seesaw is still sitting nice and flat. Nothing's changed on my equation. Alright, so it kind of looks a bit weird. What you're trying to figure out here. What is this teacher trying to say? Trust me, just learn this, get it in your head. We'll do part 2 soon. I can't promise you how soon, but we'll get through part 2 in this balancing equation thing. If you're already a subscriber, or if you like watching my videos, just hit that like button. And if you are able to subscribe because you're over 13 years old, you have your own account, then please consider being a subscriber. Share my videos, comment as much as you want within reason, and I shall try and answer your questions below. Thank you very much for watching.